Thank you. Okay, so got this nice tea from Jetro, my new friend in Mexico. Thank you very much. And how did we get here in Mexico with many new friends, many new experiences, so much to take in? Well, I have quite a fair bit of a story, a bit of a long one, and it's one of lots of pain, lots of grief, but also a very major rebirth of the human mind, body, soul, and heart. For the longest time, it would feel to me that I was out of place, having very big wants, very big goals, beyond what many people have, I would say, and very out of the ordinary. And trying to find a way to align with those is very difficult when you have people that seem to not really understand who you are. They only understand who the normal person is. So that always made it very difficult with people having doubt in my specific path that I wanted to take, and not seeing any successes from it for the longest time made it extra difficult, because there's thoughts of maybe they could be right, but the journey of having to find that they aren't right is very difficult. And I always knew for the longest time that it would work out for me and I would make things work, but it didn't make it any less difficult. And I remember the one night I had where it was at a breaking point. And I'm biking at night, just not the best state of mind, state of body. It was all getting to me. And I figured to myself, why not just jump out in front of the oncoming traffic? Because nothing seemed to be working, so why stay on the earth? And it was a huge breaking point, but I heard a voice talk to me and tell me that there's so much I need to do, so much I have to accomplish, so much I have to change in the world, so no one else can feel the pain that I felt in that moment. So that not just me, myself, but the world as a whole can be healed. And that's when things really started to take more extreme action. And I started to do things more self-guided and started to realize to a further extent that things will work out, but it still didn't make it any less difficult in the meantime. Until one day I had an experience where my consciousness was put into a space of infinite consciousness, infinite lives of humans, other humans, alternate versions of myself, alternate things completely separate from the human experience and experiencing all of it.
and it was an infinitely longer experience than my current life, but it felt all perfectly aligned. So it's just to where when eventually I came back, I knew everything would be perfectly aligned. If things can perfectly align like that in infinity, then I know it works in an individual human life. And during this experience, I had this backpack with me at my friend's house when the experience happened. A backpack that I had for a very, very long time, many, many years, that I used every single day, that had a zipper broken on the one side with two zippers, so I always had to pull it from the one side to close and open it. And it was muscle memory at that point as to which direction do I close, open the bag, all that kind of stuff. And when I supposedly came back from this experience of infinity, after going through all these different timelines where there's so many realities that are incredibly different from the one I was currently in, and so many that are very similar but just slightly different, eventually I seemed to have come back. But when I came back, I noticed that the zipper on this old backpack, a very broken backpack, symbolistic of the brokenness that I felt, the zipper was on the wrong side of the backpack for my muscle memory. And in that moment I knew something was different, something was new, something was changed. It was like I had chosen this specific life that I came back to live a new life, one separated from my past life. And that's when, very soon after that, I decided to quit my 9-to-5 kind of job that was holding me back in every way, mental, physical, all of that. It was not something that aligned with me, not something for me at all. And I quit because I said the path is more clear now, and I need to start doing what I love. Which is doing YouTube and making content that will impact the lives of people for positive through an outlet of myself. And starting that, I wasn't really sure how to go about it, and I still found I had to be somehow confined to the normal, which made me start a video business where it was doing recording, filming, photo, all that kind of stuff for other people. And it was an important first step in aligning with the path, but after doing it for a little bit, I realized that that's not the real path, because even though it may be on the right track, it's not expressive of my own soul, and it still feels too much like just another job. So having that realization and having seen some successes around the same time, where I was doing a YouTube channel as a hobby and not as a business, seeing successes from that YouTube channel, that's when I knew that I would need to take the next step of doing what I want to do. rather than being restricted by expectations of others and solely having to do everything for others. The way I want to do things for others is just by inspiring them and helping them align with their path. And it doesn't have to be through the videography business. It can be by just making videos for them that will help teach them lessons that are applicable for their own life, lessons that I myself have learned on my journey to help guide the future of people, so that much less people have to go through the pain that I've gone through. And as more and more people do that, then that is when the world really starts healing from all this pain that is trying to be forced on everyone in the world because of evil trying to control humans. It's all part of the human experience. There's great evil that tries to corrupt and control, and it's all there for a reason. It's for testing us to be able to push through that and find our own light to conquer that evil, because the evil, it cannot win when you know the true light within self, and the light always beats out the darkness, but at the same time you can never have light without darkness. And that's why I needed to go through what I went through, and that's, in my opinion, why many of us have to have plenty of trauma in our lives, plenty of negative experiences, plenty of corruption from the evil. It's so that we can have the highest contrast in our life, so that once we do find that meaning, it's all the more powerful, knowing from where you were to where you are now, and knowing that it's not you yourself who is the crazy one by having these big goals that align with beauty, that align with positivity, that align with love, that align with light. It's not you that's crazy, and as long as you continue and keep going, it works out. And even at the dips in your life while you're on this journey, it's always continually upwards. It's always going upwards, like little dips, but very much so upwards. And at any point when that dip is felt, I myself always just remember the places that I've been in the past where that dip was much lower, and it makes me grateful and makes the dips of the present have much less weight on my shoulders, because if I was able to make it through that, then I know that I can make it through anything from here on out, and that greatness will win
And yeah, it feels amazing now. Even part of the aligning with that was another ayahuasca ceremony about a year ago, the first time I had tried anything like that after my experience of infinity. And during that time, there was just so much fear, so much stress on my body, on my mind, on my heart, on everything in that time, because I purposefully asked for it in that moment to further prove to myself that this is what I need to do, that I made the right decision when I chose this life while having access to infinity. I could have chosen anything. I could have just instantly became pure beauty, pure positivity, but I chose this human experience that has a balance of pain and positivity and everything in between. It has the whole spectrum. And yeah, so during that ayahuasca ceremony, it was trying to call me back to infinity. It was putting me in a realm between my human self and infinity, and just telling me, like, let go, reconnect back to infinity. It was telling me that in every single way. And then just let go of this life, and you can align with positivity right now if you want to, but I had to say no, I can't, because I love this life that I chose earlier on, and I know the path that it's going, and I know what needs to be done here. So I had to fight the experience, while feeling like I was gonna literally die again. And I had to fight through myself dying just so I could stay to this human life. And eventually, after what felt like an eternity, fighting between that space because of how altered the conscious state is when you start to go deep into those spaces. It felt like it was forever, but finally, after fighting it, when I made it back here and stayed attached to here, it gave me so much power to know that, wow, I just fought that off again, and I chose this life, and all of the choices have always been the correct choices, because everything in the past has led up to these present moments where I can see the alignment of the future and the path I'm going on, and the fact that I can choose to be here just makes me feel so grateful. And then after that ceremony, from there on out, my life just felt like it's been in great alignment, even still with some hard things, but things have just started to feel so much less hard overall, just because of being able to fight when faced with infinity, to decide that I want this life. I don't need to go back to infinite. So that helped me continue on my journey of growing things on YouTube, just further knowing the path and aligning with the positivity that I deserve and that everyone around me deserves, because of me being able to fight through that, and it's felt amazing. And then a year later after that ceremony, I came back here where I am right now in Mexico, and even when coming, I just knew how true the alignment was. All the patterns of everything has started coming together. And during the ceremony from a few days ago now, it was just complete perfection, self-alignment with my dreams, self-alignment with happiness, positivity, and the experience was also being able to do that for myself while being able to help other people find their path too, by helping fight their demons for them as well. And now I came back through that ceremony, and all of it has been so good. There's been so many new friends to meet, so many new people, and it's all in perfect alignment with exactly what I need, what I can give to others to help benefit their lives, help them find happiness, help their dreams come true. And they as well can provide so many things for me to help my dreams come true, like actual deeper connections that I've been finding now, because I'm starting to find people that relate and actually align with me after so long of having none of that. And now I know for sure that I've made the right choice to be here, and it feels very, very amazing, and I'm so grateful. I think that's good. And it makes me feel warm inside like this.